Hey guys, today I'm going to be looking at a Super Nintendo game called the Firemen. The game was developed in 1994 by Human Entertainment. They're best known for their work on the Fire Pro Wrestling series and the Clock Tower series. This 2D action shooter is viewed from a top-down perspective. You take control of Peter, who for some reason has a blue moustache, and you're partnered by his AI-controlled colleague Danny. The game is set in 2010. Peter and Danny are part of the D-Sector Fire Brigade unit that has been given the task of entering a burning chemical facility. They need to relocate a highly explosive chemical to the roof of the building so it can be used to blow up a water tank above the building and put out the fire beneath it. They must complete this mission by venturing up through the building while rescuing survivors on the way. Peter is equipped with a portable hose system that has unlimited water and 2 different spray settings. This allows Peter to shoot downward or upward. Each of these spray settings have different strengths and weaknesses. Downward spray seems to cover a wider area and seems to tackle more of the differing flame types, but the spray cannot be used at distance and also slows down Peter's movement, while the upward spray lets you move at normal speed and shoot from longer distances. Danny, your AI-controlled counterpart, is equipped with his trusty axe, which he uses to fight fires at short distances. Danny also helps you by rescuing survivors and opening doors. The game plays in a similar way to a top-down shooter, kinda like Alien Syndrome, but instead of fighting aliens, your enemies are different types of flames. You might be thinking that having flames as your enemies would be pretty boring, but you'd be wrong. Human did a really great job when it comes to a variety of flames. They can be small or large, still or moving, on the ground or in the air. Some flames spread the fire and have to be extinguished in a certain way before they completely die out. Other than flames, you'll have to conquer a variety of obstacles while moving upwards through the building. These consist of overhead obstacles that you'll have to crawl under. Also, large fans will blast gusts of air at you, and holes in the floor will begin to appear as the building structure begins to get compromised. The game contains 6 levels, but because of how each new level begins, it's more like you're on one big level. You also get traditional boss battles that can be pretty tricky to get by, but offer a more elaborate range of enemies. The really fun thing about the game is the hectic feeling you get when playing it. The flames get bigger, faster and more frequent as the game progresses. Fortunately, when all this becomes too much for you to cope with, you can use your secret weapon. You can throw a fire extinguisher bomb that puts out all flames within its blast radius. Also, using the strafe ability helps no end in these situations. All you have to do is hold a shoulder button to lock Peter's movement and then blast away. Every level also hosts a couple of people who need rescuing, and while not a mandatory part of the game, it's definitely worth your time in rescuing them. Once you have rescued these people, the game rewards you with a much needed health bonus. The graphics in the game, while nothing amazing, are in a nice cartoony style and contain some neat effects and graphical touches, such as the flame shard flooring. Also, I like how it's animated. In particular, I find the continue screen charming. The music, while not amazing, is pretty solid and doesn't get boring with extended play. The Firemen is in my opinion one of the best games of its type and one of my favourite action games on the Super Nintendo. If you haven't heard of the game before, it might be because it was only released in Japan, Europe and Australia. The PlayStation did get a Japan-only sequel called The Firemen 2 Pete and Danny, but unfortunately the game failed to live up to its predecessor. In my opinion, if there was ever a prime candidate for a virtual console game, this would be it. I do really recommend this game and hopefully at some point you get a chance to play it. Anyway, I'm off. Thanks for watching my video and I hope I'll see you again sometime.